So once again, hello, good evening. Thank you. Today I want to present a project of mine that I'm working quite a while right now. And I would describe it as in one sentence. I wanted to have, when I started SvelteKit, I wanted to have this developer experience of Svelte and SvelteKit with PHP in the backend. And this is what I want to show you. Well, what's it going to be about? So we all know the plus page server JS with the load and the actions. The same way I do it in PHP with this, with my load, with my actions. Before I want to go on or to show you a little bit more, I want to tell you a little bit about me. Then I would have a few questions. I have some use cases, I prepared some use cases that I run into at the moment, and a little live demo. So who am I? Basically, hi, I'm Harry. I started next to schools in study time. I started with web development. And next to school, I'd also study. I was already working for agencies, web agencies. In some other companies with some IT infrastructure projects. But I started with Pro. And after a few years, I switched to PHP and to GST query. I will come later. But let's say I started with web development and I did a business school and then an IT studies, but my professional career went a bit different. I was also always a web enthusiast. I love to write web applications, let's say it like that. But in my professional career, I was a C#.NET developer. I became a system engineer, application management support from first to third level support. I wrote extensions for the tool. I did backend automation, pre-sales, post-sales, whatever, everything in one project. And the application management I did mostly for Broadcom products. I worked in the IT infrastructure and automation development already said. I took an IT timeout after quite a while, and then I became a sub-marketing automation supporter. But all this time, we're talking about around 25 years. It had all one in common, no matter where I've worked. It was always backend automation development. I did web application engineering, either in private time, or spare time, or during my employers where I was working for. And it was always working on libraries, library tool sets, using it on CLI or with, so I would say it's with Perl, it's with Python, and I did it with PHP. And and with all this, and all this 25 years, I wrote an own PHP framework, like a little meta framework, with what I set up all my web projects over the years. And these web projects or this application, not just websites, it was also inside the companies where I wrote, let's say for one, I made a bigger one, a web application, but my own PHP framework was running on that. And I started developing on that 2005, and it was running till around 2018. But my PHP framework wasn't the state of the art anymore. The years flew by. The hypes and the age of smartphones came, mobile apps, mobile websites, and the rise of Node.js, JavaScript frameworks. But because I was working somewhere else in my private time, It was much work, and I never ported my own PHP framework into a newer time age like PHP 8. I wanted something new. I wanted to have a JavaScript frontend, be able to run PHP in the backend, and or have both, or let's say no, JavaScript only, so full stack, front and backend. I think as all of us, 2.5 years ago, no, almost 2 years ago, I met Svelte. It was Svelte 4. And I was diving into it. I wanted to go full Svelte kit apps. And when I then took 1 or 2 projects, I realized I still need PHP. I would have some questions. Is any one of all of us is using Svelte and Svelte kit? I'm sure. Was there any one of you using PHP? It's quite a lot.
What do you expect?
Yeah, happy to see. Is any one of you using already Svelte with PHP, combining it? Oh, then I would be happy to hear how you have done it, but I will show you my way. Maybe this is something for you. Does any one of you, or let's say it like this, does any one of you want to learn PHP? Okay, that's one. And then, does any one of you know how old PHP already is?
It's like 30 years.
It's 30 years now. PHP has anniversary. 2.5 weeks ago, it became 30 years. So congrats and credits to all the PHP developers. But yeah, I started hacking into it, and I came into a few use cases. The first one was I wanted to go Svelte kit only, writing my apps full stack JavaScript, front and backend, Node.js hosted. I didn't have a clue any about Node.js or how to run it. It was easy, of course, I can install it and can run dev, but I wanted to understand how is it running hosted on a web hosting provider. Sooner than decided to go for the Svelte kit adapter static, so that I can have my projects that I'm developing still with Svelte in the front end and PHP in the backend. Front and backend, static hosted. And then another project is I need both. I had a project, and then I got a contact with a web hosting provider who has both Node.js and static web hosting, which I can use now both in kind of a route. I can either go for Svelte kit or PHP. This all is one more use case where I want it to be. With the project structure of Svelte kit, I always want to be in a ready to go for a full port state, either to go Svelte kit only or going with PHP back again, or keep it running at PHP forever, or at least when I say, okay, for now, we'll keep it running for the next half a year, 2 years, whatever, and then at some point we can fully port it to JavaScript. One more thing with this project, I learned now the Node.js environment. Coming from a static PHP world, maybe this is for someone else. Let's say if someone only knows the Node.js world, you could learn the static PHP world. About this, we have the plus page server.js and the plus page server PHP. I would say let's go into a live demo. So I already have a folder. Important is my folder at the moment of my project is within the documents root folder of the static hosting. But here's where I'm developing, building, or export the projects later. I go now to my GitHub page with this project. And we'll just install, you'll know it already, just a basic Svelte kit app. This folder, minimal. Let's keep it empty. Huh?
They put generally selected, so happy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was this like.
I think better.
2 days ago.
It will have, it would work anyway. Oh.
Change of it.
Where am I? Almost. Right. I will now use Svelte kit adapters. The Svelte kit static adapter. And let's use npm. And install that, and then I will add the ZeeltePHP project. Sure. More? Okay, then, the Svelte kit app basically is installed. Let's add the GitHub project, but let's go also on. I will now configure the white plugin because I wrote a plugin that preloads the PHP environment, and I can use Svelte kit and PHP together at the same time. Do it easy. I just need to add 3 lines or change 3 lines of code. It's basically adding ZeeltePHP white plugin. I need the mode at the define config and add ZeeltePHP with the mode before Svelte kit. Let's have a look on the route. At the moment, it has just a page plus page Svelte. And while it's still installing too long, I will have a look into that. Let's change at least the first start page. I'm not live coding, so I take a ready script. Let's do that as the start page. It's basically, don't need that. Let's load some data. I have a form. Yes, of course, the title. Let's output in the end. I want to send from the from the server. I want to send a message and a count. It will be a little form, and I show meanwhile the backend code for that. So the plus page, the plus page server.js, basic loading, I just return a count and a little message. And yeah, it's there. Let's npm run dev. So what will happen now when ZeeltePHP is loaded? Something is missing. There. Here is thanks. Ah, thank you. Okay, let's restart. Okay, so when it's now loaded, npm run dev, I have a little output. ZeeltePHP is loaded with some predefined variables that I need. And it looks like this. Ah, thank you. So, got the message from the plus page server.js.
Could you zoom in?
Thank you. Yeah. This is just the message. And with the form, I just gave out the -1 as an initial value. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So here. But let's also do an action with easy counting one up. In the backend, it looks like this. Take the form data that I'm sending off the form, taking the integer value of the count, and return the count of the message with a different message. Sorry. Hello from actions instead of load. So when I now click this, it should work. No. Let me see. So anyway, that should work. Okay. Great. Anyway, for counting, right? Ah, now I know why. Sorry. We're actually, because ZeeltePHP is designed for adapter static, I create, starting from ZeeltePHP, I create some folders and files, and that is one thing. It's the route plus layouts.js with some pre-configuration to run it, basically only in the browser. The routing and no server-side rendering. So for the moment now, let's delete this file that was that to do in the beginning. So now that should work the Svelte kit way. And voila! So yeah, that's one thing, but now let's go the PHP way. So I prepared that. This is let's first rewrite the plus page server.js with PHP. It looks basically like this. We have on the left side the load of Svelte kit. On the right side now the counterpart on PHP, just returning with a value and hello from page server.php. The same with the actions. This is the way Svelte kit does it. And the same in PHP would look like this. If $action name. I usually use a switch, but yeah. For now, I take the form data just of the $post of PHP. That's what I'm getting is a string, so I change it to integer the same way as here. Add by 1 and just return the data again. Let's now remove plus page server.js. And for the front end, we also need to do some more changes. To have the plus page server PHP loaded, I can now go in one way is to create a plus page JS that will be executed. Let's say the load will be done on the client side. But let's skip that part and just do an amount. And I want to live coding. Let's copy it. Let's copy the amount. And when I do it on mount, that is then similar like the load. I do nothing else than calling this method. I need to give as a parameter the fetch because I'm using the Svelte fetch function. I can do an await and just have the data loaded here. So without this, I would return a promise. So yeah, let's see this one in action. Thank you. Sorry?
You're missing the import for CP. That's what we have.
Thank you. So yeah, thank you for the input. So let's run it. Let's restart the dev mode. And if everything works fine, the plus page.js file is back. And I'm running it again as a Svelte kit adapter static app. Let's just reload it. And now I have the load from PHP. But that is still not working.
This is expected.
This is not expected. But now let's add also this counterpart. Basically, we just need to add on submit. And one thing that I already added here is the button form action add. So let's see it now in action. Thanks. It was just a little app. I want to show you one more thing. A little sneak peek about the project. No code, just the project itself that soon will be published, probably after summer. But it's already using ZeeltePHP and it's static hosted. Please don't remember the link yet. I wanted to show it locally, it doesn't work, so I thought let's go the live way. I'm working on a little project for a Dutch community in Vienna or in Austria, and it's basically a little phone book just for the community. What I have here, yeah, okay, of course, it's like Austrian phone book with some company details, whatever. Still not finished, still pre-order stage. Can go through different categories. I can also search. Oh, nothing found. Do I have something ABC? Come on. Was working. Just click this one. I know one. Wow, fun. And of course, I'm not going into that, but a bigger form, registration form, will show all the data with a little preview, whatever. It's all dynamic. I also have an administration side already here, but I cannot show that right now. But yeah, thank you very much. I don't know if you have any questions. We'll be happy to hear them.
I have many questions.
I love to hear that. Thank you.
So you run the code on mounts, so it's not server rendered, is that correct? What's happening?
When I'm doing the on mount, thanks. Okay.
So everything happens on the client.
Everything is happening on the client. So when on mount is called, when I just load the website right now, it's calling the load function, but from onMount. OnMount, what's happening now? Sorry. The client is calling onMount, and it's executing this method. What I'm doing in the background right now is to catch. I'm doing more in the backend. I'm catching the current route so that I know where I am. Basically, that's it. And then I can just send it. And with this, I'm just executing the load. In the other hand side, when submitting some data, it can be a form like this way, where I just submit the event, and now I read the details from this event. I read the method. Maybe there's something also like, how is that called? You can change the method that will be used to send the data. Anyway, I read this form action out from here. Also, all the values that's coming from the form. And from that, I know, is there an action now? Is it just a basic submit? Is it a form submit? I can also go this way to say, just send the data. And here I could also do, like, not writing it now, let's say data count plus in a function. And it will do the same. It's not answered, I think. Still some questions. This is just a little thing that I just showed what we can do. Maybe one more thing. We are in PHP, so I did one more thing. When I'm developing on the projects, I run into a lot of pitfalls, and it was struggling debugging either in which arrow file of PHP. I'm taking my own arrow files. That's basically then inside this folder. One time it executed my PHP code, one time not, or the Svelte kit code. So I made one more thing, and that helped me a lot. So let's just add this one. I made a debugger component, basically. It's already there. Yes. It looks like this. With this tab, basically different tabs, plus page server.php, I can now from here just directly say, please load. Execute the load PHP file from here, and then I see directly what's coming back. I have here an action editor that will do now nothing. But if I now write the name of this action and do add, execute it, and okay, I see now directly what's the result, and I've already a PHP error. Okay, so one thing, I can also send form data directly, or send the same form data as JSON. But therefore I wrote an own route that's called ZeeltePHP, and all the initial values of this debugger tool is just working together. So I can also use the ZeeltePHP folder as a template, and then change everything what I need. Oh, one more thing. Here I just show the data that's returned, but there's happening more in the background. It's called ZPR Svelte object. It's basically the ZP API router, where I just find out in which route I am, which action is used, which value I'm going to send, or all the data, setting everything up, and just send it to PHP. But maybe I need to see also the PHP part of this. That's fast. I can do this like this. Just for debugging, go to the PR. Should work now. Okay. Doesn't work right now, so I'm sorry for the live demo. But basically, the counterpart of the ZeeltePHP router is then shown here what PHP was able to read out from the request. So basically, I'm imitating the routing, the actions, and the load of SvelteKit. But I want to do more. But yeah, that's it. Any more questions? Sorry. Please.
Have you thought or about type safety of these functions? Like, not at all.
Type safety. At the moment, not, because I was focusing on yeah, basically everything works, that I get my data. But that's for sure a thing I want to go into. Not at the moment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.